Okay, DGP 89. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the number one common sense footballing podcast in the world. It's your two favorite DC Gooners.
Howdy, top of the morning. You know, last episode we said we're going an hour on this beat. It's Friday. I don't think it's an hour type of day. What do you think, KP?
I think you're right, dude. It is Friday morning. I woke up at 6:30 and my dog had pooped everywhere. I gotta be honest with you. I picked up maybe like 9 pieces of poop. So I'm just glad that I have this unique ability to just look past things, Steven, because this was a tough week as an Arsenal fan.
Tough week as an Arsenal fan? What happened? Did we lose a game?
We lost a game. We lost a lot of heads online. We saw a lot of the same stuff again, right? I've been telling you lot. These guys stink.
They are back. They are back in action. Dare I say, I saw a wild Arsenal fan online. One of the biggest names I think you see in Arsenal fandom with an "Get this man out. Get this blood out. Arteta out. I'm done, blood." Oh, man, they are back in action after a 2-0 loss. 4-0 on aggregate, but 2-0 loss midweek. Woof.
Dude, it's tough, man. I think some of these hot takes, they're just... I mean, obviously they're click chasing, right? And it goes beyond just your regular fan. Fucking Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville are click chasing, right? This is just the society that we're living in. But I have to be honest with you, man. The fact that Newcastle just show up like this against Arsenal is kind of crazy, bro. They love playing us. They want it to be a rivalry so bad, Steven.
They love playing the Arsenal. Last time we had played them, said Dan Burn loves playing the Arsenal. He showed up midweek. I love playing the Arsenal. Put the big man in the back line. They line up, 3 center backs? They played 5 in the back midweek. Props where props are due. It's a footballing pod. Newcastle, their game plan worked to perfection. They probably could have put, that first half, man, they probably could have put 3-4 past us. Isak hitting the post and stuff. Saliba putting the spin cycle a couple times. You got to give credit where credit's due. They have our number. 4 of the last 5 for Newcastle. We've played them 3 times this season. No wins. 2 games in the cup. 0 goals. Woof.
It's not great, dude. Yeah. Even the league game that we had against them, we didn't score. So, and overall, Steven, I was actually looking back on this. It's now 7 games this season that Arsenal have not scored a single goal. And you know how I feel about that, dude. That is just like the one thing for me that upsets me the most, when my team doesn't even score a single goal.
I know we're not going to talk about the game a lot, like go play by play, but that is something to hit on. Goal scoring. We're down in the tie 2-0. I expected us to have quite a few shots on target. Maybe you give the credit to Newcastle and they just played us out the water. They did what they had to do. We still had chances in the first half. The opportunities were still there. I'm checking the stats. 3 shots on target at 90 minutes, midweek. Kai Havertz, 0 shots on target. It's like, where were the goals going to come from? And then you obviously hear the Havertz chat. People are going to hate on Havertz because that's what people do. Who else was going to play? Who else was going to come in and make a difference? Who? So I don't give Kai hate, but what do you see? What is the issue with the attacking line as of midweek?
Well, midweek, to go back to the way you spoke about Newcastle, they had a clear plan and they executed it, man, to perfection. The way their extra center back was playing almost as a midfielder and ending up at the top of the box pressing our number 6, that was so obvious, and it was a problem. We couldn't get on the ball. We couldn't really win when we went long to Havertz. We weren't winning the second ball, right? So, it was to the point where I felt like their midfield almost bullied us a little bit too. Declan Rice lost his head a little bit too. He got in for a few tackles, and I'm not going to lie to you. Like, one of them should have been a yellow. I'm not going to sit here on this pod and lie to you. I was like, whoa. But at the same time, I appreciate that he at least put in a few tackles. Like, all right, we're losing 4-0. You guys are nasty, dirty fuckers, dude. So I'm going to give you some back. I appreciated it a little bit. We haven't had that in an Arsenal shirt in a long time. But overall, Steven, I'm amazed by how much people hate us. I have to be honest with you. I had to even look up, like, the way Newcastle show up for these games against Arsenal. I had to look at, like, who is their rival? I didn't even know. It's like, who is their derby game, right? Do you know the answer, Steven?
It's Sunderland, the North.
Fucking Sunderland, dude. I haven't seen Sunderland in the Premier League for like 15 years. So, like, no wonder they want to be rivals, bro. You look at the table, you look at your timeline. Liverpool fans think it's a rivalry. Manchester United fans want to be rivals. We actually have a rival in North London. There's that one team, right, who just got smacked up, by the way, 4-0 to Liverpool. Chelsea think we're rivals. Fucking West Ham sometimes show up like it's a London derby. So it's just like, bro, that's half the table. Half the table want to be our rivals. So no wonder, bro, as soon as we start to enjoy ourselves a little bit, the hate just comes out. The celebration police comes out. All the nasty chatter comes out. They all envy us, bro.
A lot of haters. A lot of haters on the timeline. Something I think we need to mention a little bit. Miles Lewis-Skelly. At the weekend, does his little celebration. Banter. Chat shit, get banged. Classic. That is classic banter. You see in the news a couple days later, this is in England, the news comes out, we're going to need to crack down on celebrations. That is unacceptable. That is too much. And it's just so classic for, like, I guess, Premier League, what do you want to call it, English media. Raheem Sterling, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho. Young black boy gets battered in the media because he does something crazy. That's crazy. Kid is 18. Let him flourish. Let him shine. It's banter. Who the fuck are you? National television. Who the fuck are you? That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing, dude. The way these guys are trying to speak about Miles Lewis-Skelly is just, it's disgusting, bro. It's actually so disgusting. They've already ruined the game with the VAR. Like, half the time, you don't even know if you should celebrate or not because the goal's going to get called back. And then we get a clean goal and we do a celebration and now they're mad that we're celebrating. Like, what happened to football, bro? What happened to football? What happened to doing your talking on the pitch? Isn't that what we used to always say? Do your talking with your game, young man. That's exactly what he did.
I think it comes back to your point, though, of like, when it's Arsenal, it's different. It's just a little different when it's Arsenal. I think it hits people in their feels. Do they have a right to do this to us? Maybe it's the social media following behind Arsenal. When you get on the socials, lot of followers, lot of fans worldwide from the Arsenal, right? We are gargantuan in that sense. And I think other clubs are like, why do they have this right? Why do they have the right to feel this way when they haven't won a title in 20 years? They don't win trophies. You know why? Because we're a progressive club. We hit a little bit different. You wish your club was like us. They not like us. They not like us, KP.
I love that, dude. They're not, man. You know who wasn't like himself midweek? William Saliba.
Ooh. Say more. Say more.
I have been on his case a little bit this season. I've called it out a few times. He's been late to a few tackles. You may recall, I think against Southampton, he was late to close that guy down and he banged it on us. There was another game recently that he was late for the tackle again and Raya got done up. This was the first time watching him, however, where I just felt like, oh boy, my guy is a little scared about who he's playing against. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was looking over his shoulder the whole time, bro.
Isak has his number. Newcastle has the squad's number. Isak has his number. It seems pretty apparent. Dude ran into space, running past him. I mean, we're not talking body blows or anything like that, right? Big striker, body blowing our center backs. We've seen that before. This dude was like, nah, I'm going to run around you. I'm going to play in the spaces. You're not going to catch me. He was through on goal probably, two times at least. And it was like nothing. I think that's 2-2 for him as far as goals go. He hit the post on the first one. I keep giving him credit for it because he did all the work. Jacob Murphy had that was a great finish off the post for him. But Saliba in the spin cycle. It's a footballing pod. Is an 80% Saliba better than most center backs in the league? Of course. The partnership, Big Gabby, Saliba, excellent. But he was in the mud.
Yeah, and it's not the first time, right, beyond William Saliba, where the pressure is kind of on, we're under the lights, and the team doesn't show up the way you want them to as a supporter. I think back to a few Champions League games last year in the knockout phases. It's kind of the same situation. It's happened again. I'll be honest with you, when I was watching that game midweek, I did feel like one team knows it's a semifinal. The other team is just here to kind of play.
I've kind of gone back and forth on that. 'Cause to your point, I believe that's true. Didn't come out with a lot of energy. And Newcastle's fans, though, so it's at St. James Park, their fans were roaring. They wanted the final. On the other hand, we went run it back mode. Same starting 11 as the Manchester City game, which was an emotional win. Same starting 11, don't have much off the bench. I hate to say it, but we just kind of look tired. It's one of those games again where it just looks a little tired. Where is it going to come from today? There's no soccer on the pitch. Where is it going to come from? Nothing. We just didn't have anything going for us. 3 shots on target at the end of the day. Down 2-0 already in the first leg. It's like it was basically, when we talk about going bellies up, yeah, I guess we stayed in the game because we kept it at 2-0, but we really didn't put much pressure on them.
No, I hear you. And look, St. James Park, I mean, it is a hard place to go, but I was surprised with some of the commentary I saw from Arsenal fans who were at the ground saying that apparently the away fans are all on the upper level. Mm-hmm. The away fans are not allowed on the ground level. Yeah. So I do wonder how much that plays into the atmosphere, and I don't think that's the case anywhere else. Like when I watch Arsenal games, at least, you see the away fans, right? You see their away section and how they're on the ground. So I don't want to come out and say you're cheating, but like, can someone look into this a little bit? Because I bet you if that was Arsenal, it would be a talking point every day of this week until the break is over.
I knew it was like that. I don't know the history behind it or why that is the case, but I knew that's what happened. I've seen them pan the camera. Yeah, it is like second tier. You're up in the floodlights, basically. Couldn't tell you why, and it's St. James Park. The place is rocking. Midweek, the place was rocking. You got to give them credit. They probably don't have much else going for them. It's Newcastle. I don't know when the last time they won a trophy is, but they were up for it. We were not. We gotta hit on Martinelli for 1 second. First half, boy goes down. Looks like it's a hammy. Looks like it's a muscle injury, right? That is crazy that the transfer market just ended. It just ended, KP, and we got nobody. Here comes a 17-year-old kid. You look at the bench like, well, can we make any other changes? Nothing. If this ends up being like a 2-week injury, this is a big worry. Are you on that page?
A little bit, and a little bit I'm not. Because the 20 minutes or so that Martinelli played, did he beat his man once? I don't think so. He created the chance for Odegaard. I got to give him credit there. He looked like it was a very bad tackle on him, actually, to set him up. And I'm fine that the referee sort of played that advantage. We hit the post. Like, you can't go back to that foul after we hit the post. So, but when Ethan came on, I thought he looked better. He looked like he was going at his player. He looked like he was a little bit more unpredictable, going to his left, going to his right. He got a few crosses in with his right. So I've been saying I want to see Winery start a little bit more out on that wing, and maybe now is the opportunity for him a little bit. So that's one of my silver linings. If Martinelli is out for 2-3 weeks, maybe we see a little. And the run that's coming up is not the most difficult run that we're going to have in the league. So I think there's some positive in it. I do hope he's okay, but I'm just being realistic about it, that I don't mind seeing this kid play.
Dog, that's a great shout. I did not have a silver lining for today. I love that. That's a great shout. Gotta give Winery a lot of credit. They were giving him some star treatment. I like watching the game. I felt like Newcastle were like, oh, we got to double up. We have to double up. We can't let this kid get a shot off. Anthony Gordon was running his ass off to get back and double up on him. 17-year-old kid. Respect. Like, you know who the fuck I am.
I also felt that don't let him shoot. I definitely felt the don't let him shoot vibes, dude. So a lot of credit to him, man. A lot of credit to him. So it's exciting. I mean, from the game itself, I guess the one guy we also have to call out is David Raya. He's been really good for us throughout the season, but we kind of fell into a little bit of a trap, something that we've seen before from the goalkeeper. It's not the end of the world, right? I think you just move past it.
Nah, to me, that's a one-off. How much do we do that type of play? It's a one-off. You play risky football sometimes. You get bit. We got bit. And I guess at 3-0 on aggregate, is there a better time it could have happened? Probably not. I'll take that in the cup. Down 3-0 on aggregate every day of the week versus doing it in a league game. That's fine. I don't think we have much else to say about the game. I think we got to get into transfers. But I see a finger here, KP. Uh-oh.
I just have one thing to say, and it goes back to just the season that it has been. It goes back to having a little bit of perspective, because the first time we played Newcastle, Martinelli was through on goal, and he hit the post. Couple of minutes after, they scored. The second time we played Newcastle, Odegaard is through, he hits the post. A few minutes later, they score. And I did say after the first Newcastle game, did we just get football? Like, did we just get football that day? And we've been getting a little bit football, dude. That happens. That just happens.
That's why I feel like we're not going into this game into depth. Sometimes you just get beat. Their game plan works and you just get beat. It is what it is. 38 games in the league. We're playing a ton of games. We've already played 8 games in the Champions League. Whole cup, we made it to the semifinal, FA Cup. You're not going to win them all. You're just not. That's not realistic. So if you're going to lose a couple, that's fine. On your day, sometimes you get beat. And credit to Newcastle. It is what it is. They have our number. We play them again in May at home. It's the second to last game of the season. I hope we come out and play. Get that bad taste in your mouth, come out and play the game. That'd be the 4th time we play him this season. I would love to get 1 over on him.
Yeah, that game's going to be huge. And who knows, by then, it could be a real title decider. So we'll see. We will see. I'm totally with you, backing the team. It seemed like we just headed over to Dubai. But let's talk about the transfer window that we had, right? I think in the beginning of it, I said January 15. If you don't see anything happening midway through the month, don't start holding your breath over anything. Kind of played out that way. And my overall feeling where there was just zero news was, I'm sad. I'm disappointed in the board. I think that they let Mikel down a little bit. I don't know if Mikel was in the background vetoing signings. I doubt it. I really doubt it. But I have heard him say didn't want to just bring in a body just to bring in a body. I think that's fair when you look at Neto, when you look at Sterling. But also, I wish we had done something, because I don't know if we have any solutions if Kai Havertz gets hurt.
That's it. I'm disappointed. I'm just pretty disappointed in the situation we've left ourselves in. We keep kind of hanging. We're just barely hanging on by a thread. And I'm talking about just us two. We're like pulling at strings at this point of like positives from the season. And like not getting a signing really even dampened that. The likelihood of us pulling anything the rest of the season is very, very slim. I think the title, super slim. Champions League is our best bet. Very slim. Just looking at this last game where Martinelli gets hurt, that's a huge worry. Jesus goes down against United on January 12th. That left us 22 days in the window. We already know Saka's gone. Jesus goes out. And I think Waneri might have been out at that time, or like went out very soon afterwards. 22 days after the Jesus injury. The only action I saw was a bid on Ollie Watkins a few days before the window closed. And this is after John Duran is basically gone to Saudi. Very, very interesting. Obviously, you don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but I'm pretty disappointed in that.
Yeah, and I almost feel a little disrespected with the approach to say, like, well, we tried, right? You guys saw us bid for Ollie Watkins. We tried. That was them, like, just throwing a little bone at us, dude. So I don't necessarily appreciate that. And I'm also just a little, I think, more disappointed when I look across the business that some of the other teams did. Like, Manchester City spent $200 million in the window. I think even Tottenham went out and signed someone. Aston Villa had an incredible window, dude. They signed like four players who on paper can make an impact. So other teams got better. We just got thinner. That's all.
Ow. Ouch. The one thing you can look at as promising that we didn't see at the beginning of the season is the two youngsters. They're now becoming prominent parts of the squad. Waneri's going to get significant minutes. Lewis Skelly is now starting for us. I feel like that's the board's justification. Well, we added two players that we didn't expect at the beginning of the season. So take your initial squad number, add two. You take out Jesus and you take out Saka. There you go. Those are your two signings. That, to me, that's the justification of it. Obviously, it's not like for likes or correct positioning. It is what it is, man. Obviously, the Saka thing. Odegaard's not firing. Who's going to play in for him? Oh, Waneri can play there. Well, then who's playing at the right wing? Martinelli? Well, Martinelli just got hurt. So it's like a continuous issue. I'm hoping we can hold it together through the rest of the season. I'm worried about Kai Havertz. I don't know if his hammies can take it. Dude runs his ass off. I don't know if his hammies can take it.
I'm worried about him too, dude, especially because he does not shy away from a physical battle. He does not shy away from a shoulder to shoulder, from a foot on top of a foot, from a just here comes a random slide. Like, he's about that life, bro. And that's the one thing. Newcastle players hate him. They hate him, bro.
It's so funny to be on the socials and the amount of hate that he gets. And it's so funny because it's like, well, you guys have Bruno, Lisandro Martinez. Newcastle, you got a whole squad of them, right? You got Bruno, big man Bruno. You got Joe Ellington, dirty players. City, Bernardo Silva, we saw what he's done. So you can go through every squad. Liverpool, Van Dijk. We know what he is, right? He's Dirty Diaz, Psycho Nunez. Like, you can go to every squad and pick out players that are just like, they're the bad actors. You love to have them on your team, but you hate to play against them. And Kai Havertz is that. But Kai Havertz gets so much slander, I think. And I don't, maybe because he plays for the Arsenal, as we had said earlier, he just plays for the Arsenal, so he gets the most hate. Before we get off transfers, KP, I gotta ask you one question. Loan signings at the beginning of the season that really have hampered us, especially this January. Sterling and Neto. If you could go back in time and change one of those two signings, which one would you change? Which one is worse?
I wish we didn't sign Neto. I'll be honest with you. If it's between those two, I wish we didn't sign Neto. Sterling, I mean, he gets time here and there. He's been getting more time as we've had injuries, and I do believe he can play the uncle role a little bit for Waneri, from some of the other young Englishmen. But Neto, I saw him play one game, right? I think it was that Champions League game against Girona. Oh my God, he did not look good at all, dude. He looked like we might as well have played the 16, 14-year-old, bro. It would have been just as the same.
I am 100% backing you on that. This is that perspective reality check for the fan base. Everyone loves to shit on Sterling. And that's, like, it is what it is. We haven't seen the product from him. But we took a punt on him, right? Like, I can't knock Edu for that. You took a punt on him. It didn't work out. Didn't have to pay anything for him. So, like, hey, it is what it is. Neto, you chose not to sign a keeper. You went after a keeper that they wanted an exorbitant amount of money for as a backup. That's your problem. You needed to find another solution. You had all window to do that. You waited to the last day to sign a cup-tied keeper? Bruh, he took up a spot for what? Couldn't make one transfer in the January window in the Premier League because we signed Neto, who, like you just said, played one game, and it's like, I don't think I want to see him play again.
Yeah, that's not great, dude. That's why I get a little worried where it's like, oh, well, don't worry about the January window. We have summer plans. Like, bro, you had summer plans last summer. You had 4 months to find a goalkeeper last summer, and you did it. And now you want me to believe that this summer's plan is going to be fucking awesome? It's going to be awesome, guys. You're going to love it. It's going to be huge.
Are you preparing to get hurt again?
I am so ready, dude. I mean, realistically, the players that we've been linked with, I mean, Isak, bro, let's just say they don't make the Champions League. Let's say he makes a push for it. That's like 150. Every time we play this guy, the price goes up, bro. The price of the brick has gone up, young man.
Isak, Sesko, Zubamendi. That's just the 3 names. We got to obviously have a few more options coming in. Zubamendi, Sesko, that's what I would hope for. We got to get a 9. We have to get a replacement in for Thomas Partey. I don't see him staying with us long term. Would love a winger. Obviously, Nico Williams just keeps coming back. He just keeps coming back. Man, it's tough out here. It really is tough. I am prepared to get hurt again. Ooh, I'm prepared.
I want Nico. I'll be honest with you. The people who've been listening since the Euros, you know, I want Nico, dude. Get him in, bro. I don't care. It's 300,000 for his weekly wages. Fuck it, bro. I think you go and do that. That's okay. We have the money. Don't pretend like we don't have the money, bro. We don't have the offside technology, but we have the money, okay? So go and get it done, dude. And honestly, the 9 chatter is so difficult when you look at Kai Havertz. I mean, he's not a bad player. He is going to play a lot of games. So to be able to convince someone who's going to be content maybe playing the last 20 to 30 minutes of every game, that's difficult. I don't know if that guy is just out there. I don't know if Sesko is the right fit. I'll be honest with you. Like, I do expect us to make signings in the summer. If I were to put a number on it, I would say we'll probably spend a total of 150 million to 200. And the midfielder, we already know who we want, who seems to be already done. But I think there's going to be signings that we haven't heard about. That has to be the way it goes. It's very hard for me to imagine we go and we sign one of these names that we've been hearing about for the last 6 months.
That would be the Arsenal way, huh? That would be the Arsenal way. Going back a couple years, like the Tomiyasu signing, never heard of the dude. That happened. I love that. The Ben White one, I feel like, was kind of out of the blue as well. Love that. So it'd be nice if we hit a couple of those. I woke up this morning, KP, and the first thing I kind of obviously looking at the socials, we're about to record, anything happen in the Arsenal ether. Saliba, 2 years left in his contract, and I'm seeing articles. Real Madrid have come knocking. They're interested. They're putting their name in the ring, but he's got 2 years left on his contract. You've hit on this a couple times throughout the season when we talk about cups. If we don't get any silverware, there might be a few names that are looking to leave. Here comes Real Madrid knocking, 2 years left on his contract. Do you have any early expectations for that? We don't have to go in depth today because it's early days. But do you have any Any words?
An extension would be nice, I'll be honest with you. But also letting him just go another year, I think is fine. I don't think that it's affecting his gameplay, these rumors. I never really approach it that way. But at the same time, to be honest with you, yesterday I was thinking, who is my player of the season? If the season ended today, who would be my player of the season? And it's Big Gabby, dude. Like, I'm not too bothered if a William Saliba is sold for, I mean, that's $100 million player, right? The figure has to be right. But if we lose him for a huge amount, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think that's just football.
Yeah, I'm going to almost go the opposite of that. We are not going to sell him. This is what Real Madrid does. They throw their name in there. We want you. We're not going to pay for you. But when your contract is 2 years, they're basically letting him know, when your contract's up, we want you and we will sign you. And we're going to pay you well. That's what they do. We just saw that with Mbappe. That's the Real Madrid. They call it the aura. This is what they do. They put their name out there. They whisper in your ear, contract's coming up. We would love to have you on our squad. We win titles. We're the biggest club in the world. So now Saliba's hearing that. To me, they're not gonna pay for him. They might do what they did for Trent. Be like, it's the January before he leaves. We'll give you 15 mil. Because he's coming anyways, baby. He's coming anyways. So if you want some money, take it. That's what I see. So it is a little bit worrying. I wouldn't be surprised to see him leave. This is one that it was always coming, right? I mean, immediately when he started playing well, you're like, wow, he's destined to play in the white. He's destined to. So I wouldn't be surprised.
And I think, look, partly we're prepared for it. Benny Blanco can play center back. Jurriën Timber can play right center back. Fucking Tomiyasu, the day that he comes back, he can play center back. So, like, we are prepared for that day.
And I'm already talking like he's going, I'm preparing myself for the emotional damage. I'm preparing myself so it doesn't hurt on the day. Of course it's going to hurt. But if it does happen, if it is true, I'm preparing.
I mean, I hope it doesn't, right? I hope that there's still 2 big trophies left this season. I think there's still possibilities. Are those chances slim? Sure. I would give each one 20%. I think 1 out of 5, we have a shot for both of those trophies. But I hope he stays. I hope next season we go again and we put on a different show. And we have sent some good messages, dude. We just went over all the numbers, the cold, hard facts in the last podcast. The numbers are there, dude. I think there's still a lot to come. And look, we're about to take a nice little break. I think it's going to be really great. The team just took off to Dubai, and I think that's good too. The team needs a break, dude. Those guys needed a break. I've seen people come out and say after the Newcastle performance, they don't deserve to go to Dubai. Like, come on, man.
Bruh, nonsense. I hope Dubai is like last year. They get their legs up, get relaxed, come back, go on a huge run. 14 games left in the league. There's only 14 left. At this point, again, Liverpool haven't sputtered. So I'm putting those chances very slim. Champions League, that's where I'm putting my chips. I'm into the Champions League. Let's see what happens. But it's closing into the end. Again, 14 games left. I mean, it seems like it's going to be happening very fast. Thick and fast, Keon. Thick and fast to the end of the year.
It sure is thick and fast season, Steven. So we'll see how it goes, man. I'll be honest with you. I hope everyone enjoys the FA Cup games this weekend. I don't think I'll be watching any of them, but if you do, enjoy it. I think we'll try to have a preview pod for the Leicester game next weekend. That's on the 15th, Saturday morning. I think we kick off. So we'll be in touch, everybody. Thanks as always for listening. If you've been listening for a while, drop us a rating, drop us a review. We appreciate it. And a big shout out to the DGP Blue Sky fam. We will see you on the other side.
Be easy.